Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning. Happy Mother's Day. Look what we just got. It's been here about an hour. We just got a brand new Winnebago ARKA. And we're gonna take it up on the mountain today, up on Switzerland Trail, and see what it can do. Well, we've driven it a whole 2 miles. We're just fueling up before we head up the mountain. So far, like I said, only 2 miles. Feels really good. It's easy to get in here, no problem. So, off to the mountain. We're heading up Canyon Boulevard. Just came out of Boulder. We're working our way up the mountain. And we are in the brand new Winnebago ARKA. It's a Ram 5500 chassis, so you get a good heavy chassis. Cummins engine, 6.7 Cummins, 360 horsepower, 800 foot-pounds of torque. It drives well. I mean, this is really my first true drive in this vehicle. The exhaust brake is very good. I'm surprised with that 8-speed transmission. With the torque flight, it's really good. It's very noticeable. You don't have to be on the brakes near as much. It feels good, it's tight. We have no rattles, like at all. No rattles at all. Feels great. There's a lot of bends in this road, so this will be a great test. We're gonna wind up this canyon, get up to the trailhead. Once we get up to the trailhead, we'll do some more video on the outside, and then head up Switzerland Trail. So we're winding up the canyon here still, and I just wanted to talk about a little bit of the drive. For the size of this vehicle and the road we're on, it's impressive. Cummins engine, proven, 6.7 Cummins. There's a lot of these engines out there. They're very proven. The 8-speed is handling the hill very well. This chassis, you know, compared to most motorhomes especially, is so much stronger, so much more capable. We've got a 43,000 pound gross combined weight rating. We can tow 15,000 pounds with this, you know, with this RV. Let's call it an RV. It's pretty incredible. It drives, yeah. I'm coming up, you know, we're coming up a canyon behind Boulder. I'm doing, you know, 35, 40 miles an hour. And it's not quite switchbacks, but it's tight and it feels very good. I'm impressed. So another little ad here. You know, the business we're in trucks and RVs and horse trailers and all kinds of, you know, stuff like that. So I get to drive a lot of vehicles, a lot of variety, and for, let's call this a motorhome again. But it's impressive. This chassis handles this weight well. We're coming up through these bends, and being in a, this is not our bend, is it?
This is us.
This is us, okay. Just bear with us, we gotta make a hard ride here. The turning radius is also very impressive. So now we've got another 4.5 miles up the hill here, but that's impressive. You know, one of the beautiful things about this is you get the cab and the cab conveniences of a modern pickup. This is the same cab that Ram uses on all their pickups. It's tight, everything's here. You know, all those modern conveniences you get with a pickup, it's all right here. You know, I'm sitting here watching my Apple CarPlay. I've got my map running. Air conditioner's on, it's beautiful out. You know, it's a nice clean, you know, it's a clean dash. I have all my instrumentation that I need. I'm not going to do it while I'm driving, but you can scroll through and get about every piece of information you ever needed on this engine. Seats are, you know, the seats are comfortable. It's you know, it's a modern pickup. The steering feels, like I said, the steering feels awesome, considering how big the tires and wheels on this are. One more thing here. I've been saying the word motorhome, said it quite frequently to basically point out that you have all the, you know, the creature comforts of a motorhome, but this is not a motorhome. This is an adventure truck. I'm winding my way up this road and it's tight. I can make these corners easily. It's very stable. I'm actually able to take the corners faster than I thought I would be able to. I know it's probably hard from this video to tell, but you know, all these corners have a recommended speed, you know, actual speed limit, then a recommended speed, but I can easily go around these corners, and feels very comfortable, very safe. It's very secure, it steers well. One last thing before we pull off the blacktop here. It's incredible how many thumbs up, fist bumps. Yeah, everyone has been giving us waves, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. Obviously, a lot of people like the look of it. So we're about to pull off the bitumen here into our trailhead, and I just wanted to say again, we've been coming up. Is this it here?
Yeah, this is us.
This is us right here. Just bear with me a second, make sure I get my road, but I just wanted to say again how impressive coming up the mountain. The body roll, you know, the transmission, up and down shifts. Which way are we going? This way? Yep. Just want to make sure we don't miss any turns here. But now we're on the dirt here, working our way up the mountain a little more. But yeah, the body roll is very impressive. The transmission, engine combination coming up, shifting gears up and down, back and forth. It's very impressive. It handles it very well. Okay, we're at the Switzerland Trailhead. This ARKA has a compressor on board, so we're going to take advantage of that and air down a little bit to make the trail a little bit better. And then when we get done, we can air back up and off we go. Well, we're here. We're up on top of basically Switzerland Trail, Colorado. Today we came up here to do a little testing for ourselves, for Winnebago, for a lot of things, just to see what this Winnebago ARKA can really do. And believe me, we're impressed. As a group of us came, and it's very impressive. You can see there's a few scratches. We've put this thing through its paces today in many ways. We've come up some tough, tight trails, you know, a lot of rocks, you know, a lot of bends, a lot of curves, tight corners, mud. It's impressive. There's a lot of places that we followed ATVs, we followed motorcycles, we followed Jeeps. So very, very impressed. And we'll keep talking about all those things as we go around. You can see, like I said, there's some scratches. We've got this rail around it, help protect it. That worked very well. But let's start up front. Let's talk about tires and wheels. I've been four-wheeling, I guess you could call it, for a long time. Started years ago in Australia, in a 40 Series Land Cruiser. And what we had then compared to what we have now and what's on this truck are amazing. I mean, we've run over rocks today and come up, rock and shale roads and, and sharp rocks and granite. I mean, just a lot of rock. And I mean, you can see the tires. We're in great shape. But there's a couple of things that let that happen. We've got big tires. We're 41 inches, which is a 335 80/20, and it's on a buckstop wheel. And what that buckstop system lets us do is we can use that same wheel in every location around the truck. It's a big, sturdy wheel. It doesn't matter where it is on the truck. You can access the valves. We air down to come up here, which is really, really nice. That setup there lets you do a lot. We came up, like I said, over rocks and bounced through, trails and ditches and culverts. And yeah, it's amazing where we went. So that setup lets you do that. We've got some nice steps here, easy in and out. But the other thing that I really like is this clean. You see how clean and tight this undercarriage is? That's another part that lets you go places. You can go a lot of places when you're not dragging. And that comes back to those big tires and wheels. I mean, you've got a lot of clearance there. This truck has a very mild lift on it, but it sits up in the air because it's got big tires and wheels. Let's talk about the cab a little bit. Because this is built on a Ram 5500, we have a new version of, Ram's latest and greatest pickup truck. So you've got all your creature comforts. There's no, you have that automotive quality cab, tied to this box, and this gives you this overland vehicle, which gives you so much capability. I mean, you can go places that we haven't, in this kind of a vehicle and doing this kind of thing. This opens doors, to places you can go where we haven't probably been before. So it's pretty incredible. There's a lot of other pictures and video that we will release showing where we've come today, and we've come up some tough trails. So very, very impressed by that. Let's just keep going around here. Just a few little things. Under here is your fresh water fill. It's just a gravity fill, which is fine for what we're doing. There's your fresh water drain. It's all tucked away up tight, it's clean, and it's heated. So this is a true all-season vehicle. There's no, all these tanks and everything are not open to the ground. It's all sealed. Now steps, very simple steps. You just pick these up and slide them in. You can put them on the ground. They don't, you don't have to spend time leveling and balancing anything. So that makes it easy. Nice little handrail, awning up top. Awning's got a few scratches, but everything held together, did its job. Like I said, very impressed. Fresh air right here. There's a heat exchanger in there, so you can bring in fresh air and not lose all your heat. Neat idea. On some of the inside videos, we'll talk more about that. Again, we'll go back to the wheels and tires. Very impressed. Super single. Same tire wheel, it'll fit anywhere in these locations. So we have one spare, lets us go anywhere. They were really smart about this. It has dual valve stems. So one faces in, one faces out. Doesn't matter where you're at, you have access to it. We aired down earlier today to come up this trail. Later we'll air back up. So that's really handy. Storage compartment. You can, whatever you want. We've got our little first aid kit in there today for in case we need it. Hopefully we don't. These rails again run all the way, around. Just help guard everything. You can probably tie your hammock on there, take a nap. Here's another really, really good part of this. See this? You now have access to all that space. You can take out this back bench piece here, load your kayaks, load your bikes, whatever you want. Or you can leave it in and you've got a nice big U-shaped dinette in there. But that's really neat, and it's all very simple. E-Track will make more videos about that. Very simple. Right here, also unique, 15,000 pound towing capacity. So, a lot of vehicles that fall under the RV category can't tow anywhere near that amount of weight. So this is really unique. 15,000 pounds of towing, certified towing, that gets you a lot. I mean, that's a horse trailer, that's a boat, a Jeep, whatever you want to put behind here. Gives you a lot of capability there. Spare tire, we'll just kind of swing this in so you can see it, but spare tire, like I said, big, tough, rugged tire. We can go about wherever we want. Got a winch up top. Let's keep working our way around here. AC, condenser, fuel fill, smart plug for a shore cord. Again, super single. Awesome. Outside water, shower, wash your hands, whatever you want, some hooks. Turn your pumps on and off right there. Very simple. Like I said, this whole rig has been made so simple. Access to your, if you want to empty the toilet, your toilet cassette. Part that no one wants to talk about. Down here, again, sealed bays. These are not open to the ground. These are all sealed and insulated. Gray water drain. There's the switch for the compressor, which we will be using here soon when we air back up. Again, good running boards. DEF, fill your DEF tank there. We looked in the cab. Beefy wheels again. Big, heavy duty, stout bumper. Winch capable. No winch in there yet, but very winch capable. Winch door. Some nice big heavy hooks. That's a bumper that can withstand, a lot. We didn't test the bumper out too much today, but that's good. But that's a good, big, strong bumper. Will protect the front of this truck. And again, I'm going to go back to the wheels, tires. With tires and wheels like this, it lets you go places that usually you'd be in a Jeep, like I said, a side-by-side, something like that. With this tire wheel combination, the way the suspension's set up, the way the box is on here, it all works. But then, to make it even better, now you've got up in this whole nose cap, is your bed. So you've got all that. You've got a dinette, you've got a little kitchen area, you've got your fridge. You have all this ready to go. This is now, Winnebago truly has ventured into the expedition vehicle market. I mean, this is good. It's great. We're just getting to see them, test them. Today is the first day truly out on the trail. So this is a great test. It has done exceptionally well. We are very, very impressed. So yeah, now we gotta pack it up and head down the hill, go home.